Hello, my name is Dr. Matthew Pepway, author of Cuban Literature in the Age of Black Insurrection. The semester is almost over. The smile on my face is real. I'm really excited because this semester in my Caribbean Studies class, our focus was, as many scholars will say, decolonizing race, gender, and in this case religion as well. And so we began the course not with Columbus's arrival and what is now referred to as the Caribbean, but rather we began prior to 1483 in the Congo with the available sources. And we looked at Portuguese contact and transformations in the Kingdom of the Congo in order to begin the class with an example of African sovereignty. In addition to that, what I wanted to do was to provide students with models of African knowledge production. So we looked at spirituality as a form of knowledge production, what one scholar, Wallene Dotson, calls African cosmic orientation. And with regard to the Americas, we looked at an idea of filosofia sente pensante, the amphibious culture, where one must both think and feel in the process of making decisions. We talked about that in reference to the Caribbean, particularly with reference to Colombia. But in order to end class today, our focus was to look at a particular Orisha, African divine spirit known as Babaluaye, who has been transculturated with San Lázaro. And this is a divine spirit that both gives disease as well as cures the disease. And so what we looked at was the way in which that is not only a spiritual idea, but an epistemological concept, a way of thinking about medicine. And I was able to demonstrate to my students how Africans had knowledge of inoculation prior to the Atlantic slave trade. We ended class today by looking at Onesimus, and Onesimus was the enslaved African who in 1712 taught his enslaver, Cotton Mather of Boston, Massachusetts, what inoculation was, the ways in which Africans would cut the skin, only slightly infect the body with just a little bit of the disease in question, smallpox in this case, so that the immune system would learn how to fight the infection, and in this instance, the individual would not become seriously ill. In an age of pandemics, it's important to know that inoculation was a practice on the African continent prior to the Atlantic slave trade. Once again, in order to decolonize knowledge in the Caribbean and throughout Afro-Latin America and the world, we need to study, examine, and to put into practice African knowledge systems. Dr. Petway, thank you so much. Have a great summer.